I'm Jason.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Brian.
And this is the exciting and new podcast brought to you every week by... We don't have any sponsors yet, but that's where I would have filled in.
I was really excited to hear who you were going to say we're brought to by. I was thinking Nike, Coke, something like that.
He's like, we're getting goodies.
We got a big sponsor. Nice. Brought to you by My Basement Table.
We have a special episode this week. It's a two-parter. There's 4 stories as opposed to our normal 3 stories that we get each week. The name of those stories are The Eyes of Love, Masquerade, Hollywood Royalty, and The Caper. Once again, this is part 1 and 2 we're going to be going over here. The original air date for this was January 21st, 1978, and it was a 2-hour episode. It wasn't like a 1-week episode.
I was wondering while watching this where the break was, where they were going to do that kind of cliffhanger at the end of the episode, and they didn't do it. And I was like, when is this going to be the cliffhanger? So it makes more sense that it was a 2-hour episode.
Because I read that since this was a 2-hour, I'm going to mention it right now. The opening titles also had pictures, but we also got to see there was since it was a 2-hour episode, the opening credits were extended slightly with some additional music notes. So there was and I noticed the music was a little different at first, and then it kicked into the theme. But yeah, we got our pictures, which
pictures in the porthole, which
funny,
will actually go away after this one.
The episode that just released last week was the episode where you were asking, do they have pictures in the things? You were asking. That was like that one.
Well, now they're here, but they'll go away. Apparently, this is the only time in the first season that they have pictures.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then second season, they start in full.
Oh, really?
Spoiler.
Where did you see that at? That's interesting.
I just happened to be reading in the credits of this thing that they added the pictures. But
I thought we were good to go with it now.
It'll not be happening going forward until we get to season 2. But anybody who listens to these podcasts from week to week will now be excited that this is an extended episode because they'll know this podcast will go on for infinity. It'll never end.
If we allow it to, yeah.
If we do 2 hours on 45 minutes, we are going to do 17 hours on this thing.
The episode that hasn't released yet was that it was over 3 hours.
Oh,
that one that we did was the one with Chef Borda.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, that was a really long one.
Please chop almost all of that out.
That was the one where you had off the week prior, which I'm a little nervous about this because we had off last week, right? Did we have off last week or was that?
Yeah, it was in Florida last week.
Yeah, so we had off last week, and now you get excited. We have a lot more to talk.
Oh my God,
we have a lot more to talk about besides Love Boat as well. So that mixes in and that makes it a little longer. Like me rambling on right here.
I'll try to reduce my Dune spoilers. My Dune spoilers will be very light in this Love Boat episode.
We just recently watched Dune, and
thumbs up.
A few weeks ago was Many Saints of Newark. If we haven't mentioned that on the podcast yet, but here's our IMDb description for this week's episode. A husband and wife are a famous Hollywood couple. Arrive with paparazzi. She is adorned in a famous gigantic diamond, which of course entices dim-witted bumbling crooks. In a delightful caper reminiscent of old Hollywood. Okay. A husband is chagrined into bringing his wife on the cruise when she finds the tickets for his mistress and himself with some unexpected surprises. Mm-hmm. Then we get 2 former attendees of a blind school are reunited and a masquerade night moves the plots right along. So it's almost like you were saying, the masquerade doesn't really feel like a story, just like it moves the stories along.
It's not really...
It's like filler.
It's not that there's 4 separate stories. It's that they all combine into the masquerade party. And then it becomes everybody's involved in the masquerade.
Everybody has like their little taste of that.
So it's not really, it's just all 3 stories combined into one, making it a 4th story, I guess. Sure, why not? Someone else got a writing credit for that.
Just say, they're like, it's a 2-part, let's make it a 4.
Gavin McLeod's like, can you add my name to the writing
credits? He do his voice really good. Oh, yes.
Yes, I should have worn a mask of Gavin McLeod, but maybe someone else will do that in this episode, which would be utterly ridiculous.
Brian,
but who knows?
Brian, did you see that?
I saw that.
Okay. I can remember. Brian's only watched half of the 2-parter, so we're going to ask him questions throughout this episode to see if he can guess how the story is moving along and how it's going to end.
I feel that the average podcast listener to the exciting new podcast
all 12 of you out there.
has watched the episode and is listening to us after to kind of get their feel of what we felt about this episode.
Out of all the options, that's the best way to do it because, I mean, it would make sense to listen to this, then watch it.
So I'd almost rather ask Brian right now how he feels.
Okay, because
all these episodes will end.
All right, but we're not going to tell him if he's right or wrong later, right?
Sure.
All right, so The Eyes of Love, we'll talk about the blind couple. How do you think that story ends?
And turn off your mic or turn it on. Thank you.
I'm going to guess that she accepted that he could see and somehow he made arrangements so that she could have an operation so she could see at some point.
Ah, interesting.
Okay.
Interesting take.
The next one is Hollywood Royalty. That's the couple with the diamond. He's a producer actor. She's an actress, and she's hot now.
She's like 30. He's like 70.
But I mean, like he's like an old actor like that.
So, but
he's not.
By
he's
the
not
midpoint,
right
all that was really going on was that she didn't want to do whatever movie. So I'm going to guess that he decided to have her help rewrite the movie, and then she would agree to star in it.
Okay,
I like where you're going with these.
And
so far, you're completely wrong. But it's much more enjoyable that you're wrong. If you're right, I wouldn't like it.
I might give him a writing credit. And the third, we're not going to do Masquerade.
No, Masquerade's not really.
The third one is the Caper. So that's the group of crooks.
Exactly. Yes. So I think that of course they never manage to get the diamond, or if they do get it, they get caught. And Ox and Tammy end up falling in love.
Oh, you mean Taffy?
Taffy. Yeah, Taffy. End up falling in love.
Taffy was really good looking in this episode.
She was. So Ox and Taffy fall in love, and and they don't get the diamond.
And they don't get the diamond. Somehow they get away, but the old guy and Larry Storch end up going to jail or something.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
I'm glad to hear all your takes on this.
That was definitely a better idea to have him do it.
Yeah, when he said he didn't get to watch the whole thing because he spent the last 72 hours editing the last episode, he didn't have time. I thought it would be better if we kind of see how predictable are the Love Boat episodes based on the halfway point of any random
and
Love Boat
also
episode.
Like what he comes up with, like he knows the show, so he knows where it could steer.
Yeah, he wasn't going to say like someone got murdered or Captain Stupid went crazy and started shooting people.
Okay, let's get into our guest stars. First off, we have Desi Arnaz Jr. He's playing Steve Hollis. It says he was in 2 episodes, but it's really just this one episode.
Interesting. So
yeah, it's marked as a 2-episode credit on IMDb, but
he got paid twice to be in a 2-hour episode.
And he was in both parts, so I'll give him that. So
that's fine, but I wonder how many of the people that we've said in the past, they were in 10 episodes, 9 different characters. I wonder.
Well, that I've been keeping an eye on too. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on that going forward if I see any 2-parter things like that.
You have a spreadsheet at home with all the
just
where they are, the promenade deck, 323, and
it'll be just based on that week's episode. I'll be like, yeah, this week we have this, and
so
did we have that last week?
So Desi Arnaz Jr.
What do you know him from?
I know him from Lucy and Desi. That's all I know him from.
Okay, I got. What do you know him from, Bri?
Just that.
Okay.
Little
Ricky. Yeah.
I got just tied into the Love Boat a little bit. He was on the Carol Channing show.
Oh, was he? Tie it into a person that's not yet been on the Love Boat.
Wait, I thought she was on one episode. Did we have her once? Or
we had a big
I thought it was
that
her.
Carol Channing.
All right. He was in an episode of the Brady Bunch.
Was he? Was Marcia in love with him or something like that?
Cindy had thrown Marcia's diary into a bunch of books that were being donated. And in the diary, she talked about how much she loved Desi Arnaz.
Jeez, I don't recollect that episode at all.
Season 1 episode.
Really? Wow. I don't get that. That does not click with me.
Marcia Has a Crush is the name of that episode.
Was he like a teen heartthrob? Was he like a Ricky Nelson or a David Cassidy?
I also think he did some singing and stuff like that as well. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, and I told you that you're going to be really disappointed at the episode Marcia gets creamed.
That's a Brady Bunch episode, right?
It's the real name of that episode, and I know what that episode's about when they work at the ice cream parlor.
That one. I was thinking it was the one.
She gets the promotion over. She gets the promotion over Peter.
Yeah.
Yes, I thought it was going to be the one where she got the football.
Do you remember the name of when Peter worked at the bicycle shop? The name of the guy who owned the bicycle shop,
was it Gordon Jump?
No. It's Mr. Martinelli, I believe. Was I don't know if anybody can confirm that.
You and like 3 other people on the planet. I bet Peter or Christopher Knight probably can't even confirm it right now. Christopher Knight? No, that's Bobby, right?
No, it's Christopher Knight. Yeah, Barry Williams and Mike Lookinland. Michael Lookinland. Yeah. I keep kicking myself because we should have done a Brady Bunch
superhero. Yeah, we'd probably be done by now because those are only half-hour episodes, and we could have banged out 2 a night.
Like Marsha gets creamed.
That episode I would have watched too.
And then you would have been disappointed by the end.
Now,
You're like, wait a minute.
I only made it through half that episode.
You've watched the Brady Bunch, though, right? That's not a show that you didn't watch.
Oh, no, yeah, I watched that.
Okay. Our next guest is also 2 episodes, really only this one, and that's Adrian Barbeau.
Okay.
She's playing Kathy Randall. I got her here. She was in 125 episodes of Maude, and then there's Maude.
And then there's Maude.
You were just you brought up an interesting point, like the first like 5 or 6 things that she was in were John Carpenter related.
She was in Escape from New York. She was in The Fog. She was in The Thing as a voice.
As a computer voice in The Thing.
And then Creep Show. Was that him also? Was that John Carpenter? Did he direct one of those?
Romero was in there. King.
Was that just George Romero? Did he direct the whole thing?
I don't think
that's not John Carpenter.
I don't think that's John Carpenter. No, I think that's George Romero.
Yeah, it was definitely George Romero. But for some reason, I thought it was like when they did the Twilight Zone and 4 different guys directed all the different episodes.
That's fun. I like the Twilight Zone, the movie. That was fun.
Yeah, it was half good.
Cannonball Run.
Yes, that's right.
Swamp Thing. Got her in 3 episodes of Fantasy Island.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever saw that.
Him carrying her in the swamp.
Yeah, in the swamp. That's
I don't
Back to School. She was.
Oh, right. She's Roddy's wife in that at the beginning. Yes. Hey, you want to hear about Class? Here's Class.
And we got her in 1 episode of The Love Boat: The Next Wave.
Oh, so she'll be making it under Robert Urich's tenure.
Yes.
Okay, good. Will she be playing the same character?
That's a good question.
No, it's not. It's a terrible
question.
If she's
Kathy Randall coming back, I would like that. That's a great question.
Everybody on the Love Boat, The Next Wave, should be people from the first Love Boat as the same character.
Robert Urich was on the original Love Boat too.
So I believe he's on next week too. I believe. I forget. I might have by accident looked at. Okay. I might have. Oh no. I was looking up somebody else to see if they were ever on the Love Boat.
This makes me excited because you're like looking things up now.
I looked up somebody, and I can't.
Do you remember who it was?
No, I can't even remember. Oh yeah, I do. Janet Leigh, Jamie Lee Curtis's mom, Psycho. Yeah, and I was actually watching Psycho the other day, and I was like, what did Janet Leigh do like later in her life? And I'm like, she was on the Love Boat. Oh my God, what episode? And then I looked, it's coming up. It's in 1978. Janet Leigh's on the Love Boat, and Robert Urich's on that episode also.
Okay, so we
have that to look forward to in the next couple of weeks, probably.
So that could be either the end of the season 1 or the beginning of season 2. Yeah, so we'll have to see. That's fun. Nice.
There you go. So when you bring up Janet Leigh at one point, I'll be like, oh my God, I already know about her.
Remember that back on episode?
Remember back in October when we talked about that?
And next up we have Harold Gould. He's playing Vernon Crowler, and also. This was in IMDb. It's a spoiler. Harold Gould is playing Vernon Crowler and Captain Steubing. So I'm just going to leave it at that for right now.
No, he didn't. He didn't play Captain Steubing.
Yeah, he put the mask on.
Kevin MacLeod played Captain Steubing. Maybe
that was a mask. What are you talking about?
He got credit for
playing. What are you talking about?
He got credit for playing because he did his voice. He did his actual voice
with laryngitis,
as Kevin MacLeod was mouthing it terribly
with laryngitis. I don't know Harold Gould from any main thing. He was just a character actor in like a bunch of things.
He was in The Sting
episodes here and there.
He was one of the main guys in The Sting. I don't know if I know him for anything else. You know him for anything, Brian? Besides the Sting? Maybe not even the Sting. He was good in that.
Up next, Lorenzo Lamas' father, Fernando.
Yeah, I don't know him. I know his son.
And he's
That's crazy.
He's playing Bill Teague.
We have Lorenzo Lamas' dad and Lucy and Desi's son in this episode. A lot of famous.
I remember
relatives.
someone on SNL, like the first couple seasons of SNL, making imitating Fernando Lamas. That's the only thing I remember.
Man, I don't know.
That's interesting. Yeah, because I don't think I knew him from anything.
Was he in anything that we've seen?
I didn't see him in nothing. And I don't think he was in a lot either. He wasn't in a lot of, or maybe he was either in a lot or he wasn't in a lot. I can't remember because that was earlier. And
can we talk about Lorenzo Lamas instead?
Root beer float. That's all.
So
Lorenzo Lamas. What do you want to say?
So
about
should we
him?
speed? No, I'm just kidding.
I thought you had.
I have more. I have definitely more to talk about him than his dad. Wasn't Lorenzo Lamas in Grease? Grease, right? No. And
now I remember it was Billy Crystal used to do Fernando Lamas.
Was that the You Look Marvelous guy? Was that who he was imitating?
He's imitating him, really?
Is that who he's imitating when he does that You Look Marvelous person?
I think he's being.
I had no idea.
Neither did I.
I mean, I guess I could confirm.
No, please,
because I'm wrong.
100%
all
correct.
the time.
No,
it's 100% correct.
I don't even want you to confirm it.
No, I think it's already. We're confirming 100% correct. I like it. Following up, Michelle Lee making her second appearance on the Love Boat.
She was already in. What was she in?
The birthday surprise murder plot.
Oh, she was the one being chased,
stupid woman,
stalked by her husband, and she read like an 8,000 page book.
I can't get the shot on your wife.
That was her.
Pictures of her. Remember? Yeah.
Oh, but the blow up will be okay. Yeah. Oh wow. Okay, I didn't even realize that was her.
I'm glad I wrote that down. That I knew that would give that to her. She's playing Miss Roz Rogers, most notably known for 344 episodes of Knots Landing.
Another show I've never watched.
I've never watched an episode of that either. You? And I can't tell you another person that's on that show. I don't think.
I bet there's people that we know. Is that like the one that like Heather Locklear was on or something like that? Wasn't she on one of those?
Possible. I think she was in T.J. Hooker. Is what you're thinking.
Hooker. Well, yeah, but I wouldn't confuse T.J. Hooker and Knots Landing. I don't think. Knots Landing's like Dynasty and Dallas and all those like late night soaps.
That's what I was going to say. Dallas and Dynasty are like the same show, aren't they? Intertwined.
I couldn't tell you. Yeah. JR's on Dallas. That's all I know. And he got killed. He got shot at one time. Yeah. That's all I know about any of those shows.
And he lived to be like 95, I think.
With someone else's liver, with like a 20-year-old's liver. Like he got a liver transplant from a 20-year-old or something like that. And that guy was still doing fine. They just like knocked him out and took his liver out.
Yeah, they make movies like that. Hostel. I
don't think
they cut it out in a tub. Our next special guest here, she's in 8 episodes of The Love Boat, 7 different characters, Juliette Mills, and she's playing Barbara Danver. I didn't know her from anything, but she was in Passions, the soap opera Passions.
I love that one.
973 episodes.
Oh my
she was in.
God.
Wow. How many episodes there were? 1,608. So she was in a little over half.
That was the one with the monkey, right?
I never saw it.
I don't know anything about soap operas.
I'm sorry. A monkey nurse. It was an absurd.
A monkey nurse? This is a soap opera?
Precious.
Like, was it supposed to be ridiculous?
Precious was the name of the... and at one
man.
point, she was a nurse to some woman. It might even been her.
The funny thing is, we had Leslie, no. What was her name? Louise last week on Chimpanzee. And now we're getting
someone that acted with it.
Another monkey. Well, I guess that was a chimpanzee. I apologize.
They don't care.
They care.
Yeah, Precious was an orangutan.
Oh, okay. Well, they're both apes.
But that was like a main character in the show. Like, and you said it was a doctor?
No, she was a nurse.
And
she did certain jobs.
It was like a serious drama, and they had a monkey walking around the hospital.
If it's
it said it was a nurse, right? Like the nurse was like giving like shots. Like, I'm going to need to take some blood. I'm going
to check your temperature. Please roll over.
Yeah, let me see if
Brian, keep Googling over there.
Yeah, great, I gotta find the.
We need to get him a laptop in front of him so he could Google stuff faster. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
I see a picture of orangutan wearing it.
I want to know how many episodes that orangutan is in. If Juliette Mills is in 973 episodes.
Is that Juliette Mills McCartney? Is she
That was
Gonna
Heather
marry
Mills.
Oh, Heather Mills, right?
I thought this was a relation to Haley Mills, right? Didn't we just have her in an episode?
Did we? Sorry, I don't even know who that is.
Mills girls are hard to keep track of.
So this girl did nothing but and she's relatively young in this, so I'm sure she's still alive now.
I thought she looked good. She seemed young for Dan Rowan, right?
Who's Dan Rowan?
That was her husband.
Arnaz? Wait,
Dan Rowan was her husband, Alan. The one that was with Adrian Barbeau.
Oh! That's who we're talking about. The blonde lady that was with.
She seemed
Dan
young.
Rowan. Oh, right.
She seemed younger than Dan Rowan.
Yeah, she reminded me of someone, but now I don't remember. So we're talking about her, the blonde lady. Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about the blind girl.
No,
not
she's
the blonde
up.
girl.
She doesn't come. Her name ends with a Z, or begins with the Z.
Oh, so she's last. Oh, this is alphabetical.
They do the
16 episodes in. I didn't realize we were doing these guest stars in alphabetical order.
What was her character's name on Passions?
I didn't look up her character.
Okay.
It was just Juliette Mills.
Here's the explanation for the orangutan. Precious was a live-in nurse and caregiver for the elderly Edna Wallace. She was also an orangutan. Unable to afford a human nurse for her disabled mother's care, Beth Wallace employed Precious instead.
You think
that would
cost a lot more, right? You're changing a lot of diapers, not just for your mother, but for the ape too.
I was just gonna say, who's taking care of the ape?
Passions was an insane soap opera. It was absolutely insane.
I was going to say that wasn't the only crazy thing. Then.
Oh no, there was Satan was on it.
Were there aliens?
There might have even been aliens.
Was it
I remember
comedy?
Satan was on it. Yeah.
Oh, it was a comedy, so it was like soap almost. Like,
but was it like a comedy where it was like dum dum?
Well, they all acted like it was a regular soap opera, but the situations were insane.
Gotcha. Okay, so it was humorous,
and it lasted 1,600 episodes, so it lasted quite a while too. I mean,
okay,
that's almost as many as Simpsons episodes.
That's how many Love Boat episodes of this, or it just feels that way.
Great podcast, Passion.
Oh my god. Please be doing that at my funeral when I've been dead for 50 years already.
I just got signed up for MTV's The State podcast I'm starting.
Oh, yeah. Jason's doing one of those. I'm not involved in that. Jason's doing that. Brian, I signed you up to produce that one.
Okay.
He did sign you up as producer for that one.
So he's got nothing going on. He'll do
for the exciting and new podcast network.
Yes. We're starting a network now.
Well, that's what we were planning, was to start a network from the beginning, though, right?
I don't think exciting and news the name of the network, though, right?
You were going to use your son's podcast. We're going to put that on here, right?
Yeah.
But Exciting and New is the name of the...
That's just the Love Boat podcast. I think
that's the name of our network, too, right?
It would be a good name for it, like Exciting and New.
Oh, my God.
And then we have, like, the flagship, which is us.
Exciting and New, and it's something from the 70s? Wait, what's going on here?
That's what gets you in. You're like, wait a minute. All right, so next was Dan Rowan, who's in 3 episodes. So basically just one more episode.
One more, because this is 2, right.
And he plays Alan Danver. He was in 6 episodes of Ed Sullivan and 141 episodes, all 141 episodes of Laugh-In, which I didn't really watch, so I don't
That's a little before our time. But I know him and...
he played himself in a lot of things, too, like Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour.
Oh, he was also
all
on
those
Smothers
kind of shows.
Brothers,
A lot of, like, variety shows and stuff like that. Yeah.
I only remember him from Rowan and Martin.
Yeah. Next up, this is his only episode. John Shuck. He plays Ox. He was known all 73 episodes of The Munsters Today. He played Herman.
Was that like a 90s Munsters version?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Then he had Klingon ambassador Camarog.
And he was in
from
a couple.
Star Trek 4, I think.
I think 4 and 5.
5, yeah. An episode of Different Strokes. Arnold was trying to get initiated into a club, and they wanted him to do something with this guy who's special needs. He worked at the diner or restaurant that they were at.
So he played a special needs guy?
Yeah.
So he seems to be a little typecast. Even though I don't believe he is special needs, he certainly played one in this episode.
Yeah, he played someone who just was not, I don't know. We'll get to him in a little.
And he was also in MASH, the movie. He was Dr. Painless, the dentist who committed suicide. The song
Suicide is Painless. Yep.
That was sung at his funeral. He didn't actually die though. They just faked.
Was he in an episode of MASH after the movie or anything like that, or no?
He was in the movie.
So just in the movie, yeah. Larry Storch, 3 episodes. Really just one more episode. He played Elwood Riggs. He's currently 98 years old.
Still alive.
As we do this podcast. He was in all 65 episodes of F Troop. He's got 248 total acting credits. Airport 1975, The Great Race. Those were a couple of the ones that
I don't know.
Popular for.
I mean, I never watched F Troop, so this is everything I know about Larry Storch. What about you, Brian?
I did watch F Troop, so I know.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Big Ken Berry fan, right?
That's right.
Mama's Family.
I was going to say, I knew him from Mama's Family.
Yeah. Next up, we have Karen Valentine. This is her only episode. She's playing Taffy Martino.
Now, why doesn't she get credit for 2 episodes?
She did.
Okay.
I just switched it up because I didn't.
Okay, that's
because
fine.
It just seemed annoying.
It's very annoying, but that's fine.
I don't like that they did it that way,
Uh-uh.
and that bothers me. And I'll talk to them later off air.
Aaron Spelling, you are on notice now.
Karen Valentine, she was in all 113 episodes of Room 222.
Never saw it. I saw 227.
That was different. Yeah, she was in the Love Boat pilot, the one with Dick Van Patten as Doc.
Really?
And
our Patreon subscribers know that one because we did that one.
Sandy
for
Hellberg. No, this is the one that this is the one that we didn't do.
I know. Well,
we did do. Okay,
the Patreon people are going to listen to that.
True. We do want to do this one though. It is on.
Yeah,
it is.
Is
on
that the one that's on YouTube? And we
Yeah.
can't even find the original one, right?
Well, we did the original pilot off of YouTube as well. Remember?
That was the third pilot.
The third pilot. I don't know this one here.
The Dick Van Patten one.
With Dick Van Patten is the second one. So there's one before that.
Yes.
Which I don't know where that one is.
I think they taped over that, like Super Bowl one.
Like they did with a bunch of those early Tonight shows. They recorded over a whole bunch of them.
There's no original printing of Super Bowl one. Like you can't find it anywhere because
is that why there's just clips?
It's always just clips. Yep.
Yeah. So it starts with Super Bowl 2 where you can get the whole game, right? Super Bowl 3 is the one that they should just trash.
I agree. That didn't happen. Super Bowl 3 and Super Bowl 53 never happened.
And our last special guest, also her only episode, Stephanie Zimbalist. She plays Jenny Lang. She was in all 94 episodes of Brian.
Oh, I can't remember.
It was your girl, Remington Steele.
Oh, that's right, Remington Steele. She was the girl.
I set him up for that.
Wait,
one.
she was like James Bond's like partner in that?
Yeah, she was the.
Really? She seems too young to be like Remington Steele was like in the 80s, right?
She looks super young in this, but she was.
I didn't get her age.
Older in this.
Huh?
She was like 30 in this.
Oh, okay, all right. I thought she was like 20. That's fine. Then.
She might be.
She just looked really young.
I'll allow it.
He's allowing it.
I never watched Remington Steele.
She was born in 56, so she was probably about 21, 22 here. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought she was in her 30s.
But when's Remington Steele?
It's late 80s.
Okay, so she might have been 40 by then.
Or mid-80s.
Late 30s.
I didn't know what he was doing.
Are you all right?
I'm fine. I have some bourbon in my throat.
I didn't know what
Getting
happened.
that bourbon box.
That's all our special guests.
That was a lot.
Once again, we mentioned how we had first time for the credits titles having the pictures in it, but that's only this time around.
Yeah,
until
next
season 2.
It took someone in marketing to say, "Hey, you know what's a really good idea? Putting those faces back in the portholes."
Like, why do you think they did it? They're like, all right, just this 1 week. Next week, we're not doing it. We're just doing it this 1 week for the 2-parter. Forget about it.
But again, I think I brought it up last week or the week before. They lingered on the people in the portholes for like a split second too long. Like everybody's looking and smiling. And then it's like whoever, Larry Storch, and he smiles and it hangs.
And they're like, are you done
It's like,
yet?
cut.
Are you done yet?
Yeah. Every single person looked very
You're talking
uncomfortable.
about your mouth. I'm like, are you done?
Every person thought they were going to be filmed for a second and it lasted 2 seconds. You could just tell that next second they're like,
to give you that whole awkwardness.
am I still smiling? Okay. Like Julie
you know
does.
They did that a lot
Julie
too?
does here. When
They do that a lot too on like remember Hollywood Squares when they would like introduce. They would just think it would be staring at the person and be like, okay,
or a
moving
match
on.
game.
Match game too.
Richard Dawson.
My favorite was when there would be Richard Dawson was on the bottom part, so there was somebody sitting above him, right?
Usually Brett was
they're
over
talking
him.
to Brett Summers above him, and you just see like in front of Brett Summers like smokes just coming up because it's like Richard Dawson, and you hear his ice clank.
That was. I mean, I remember like they'd come back from commercial breaks, and you'd see people like stamping out cigarettes like underneath their underneath. Yeah, like,
That's so good. Bring that stuff back.
Oh, man. Bring it back. Nothing funnier than lung cancer.
Did you get any Titanic jokes this week?
I did not hear one Titanic joke.
I didn't catch any.
And I only saw one elevator referencing
one elevator scene, but it was an important
one. It was very important. And no captain's table shots, but discussion.
We did get a couple.
Did we? We got discussions
wasn't like full tables, but like you saw like the captain sitting at the table talking.
Really?
Yeah.
I might have missed that because I remember he was talking to the gang. You'll be at my table tonight. And
I'm going to get into some of that stuff like the table assignment, like right away. Is that important? Like your dinner table assignment when you get on a boat?
No, but on these boats, it seems to be the only place you can eat is at that restaurant.
I know, but like, do you need to be like when they're bringing Jenny in, the blind girl, Gopher brings her in, is like, let's go find out your dinner spot for tonight. Like that was important.
Maybe it was back then.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
I think you actually got a dinner assignment and that was it.
And do you think the captain knew for like who's going to be his first four people sitting in his table?
I know you people. You're at my table tonight. Who are we? Like, why are we at your table? I said I want the Diamond Gang to be at my table.
That's just some stuff I had written down here. I said, "What's with all the seating arrangements?" Captain knows who he's sitting with already. I just thought that was ridiculous.
And I noticed this is getting way, way, way ahead. But Jenny, right, the blind girl,
from the block.
Jenny from the block. She was in a 2-bed room, but it looked like she was by herself.
There was some nice practical joke.
She had a.
We'll get to that later.
That was an ugly looking room. I'm like, give that room to the blind girl. Like, who cares? It was ugly green. The walls were green. The bedspread was green. The pillows were green.
I should bring it up when it comes up, but like, did you see when she was playing solitaire?
Yes.
Those cards didn't look like they were Braille.
They were not Braille cards. Yeah.
Right.
That because they showed her reading.
They showed her reading Braille. Yeah.
But the cards were not Braille.
Okay. I was like, interesting. And she had a full game playing, like, because it wasn't like she just started. Like,
and that, it was solitaire, man. That's a lot of rubbing to do when you're trying to like figure out all those 7
and you got
rows.
cards on top of cards, so you're like, are you hitting? You got to make sure you're not.
Do I have the 8 here? The 8 of spades is that here?
Wait, is that a diamond? That's not a diamond.
Wait, what's the symbol for diamond now? Making fun of the blind. That's awesome. Please, all you blind people, subscribe.
We need you. Okay, here comes our opening scene. Michelle Lee. We get Roz Rogers and Lamas. I call him throughout for this.
I'm going to call him Lorenzo Lamas.
Mr. Lamas.
Mr. the Lamas.
We got them talking about they're on vacation. They don't want to do anything with work. And then they talk about the Star of Kashmir. That's the name of the diamond. And it's worth $1.2 million. And then Lorenzo Lamas makes a joke saying it's actually $1.5 million, but his sister works at Tiffany's, so he got her discount.
I mentioned before that Lorenzo Lamas, I think the only thing I actually know him from, I'm looking him up real quick.
Okay.
He's in Greece. He is like Sandy's boyfriend, the jock that she takes to the dance, or she's dating him at one point. The football player that sticks his foot in his helmet as
was this one of his first? Was that one of his first credits?
Second credit.
What was he in before that?
Nothing. He would play the Indian boy in 100 Rifles.
And I'm guessing his character in Greece wasn't that big.
He was Tom. I believe his name is Tom Chisholm. Is that possibly correct?
Wait a minute. Are you sure you got the right Greece?
Gross. Anyway, so Tom from Lorenzo Lamas, or Tom from Greece, his son, father. God damn it.
That's them right there. Look at Lorenzo Lamas looking all slick with his glasses. And Roz Rogers. Right behind them, you get the crooks, Harold Gould, Storch, Ox, and Karen Valentine. And they got their eyes set on the Star of Kashmir.
I'd also like to go on record and say Lorenzo Lamas didn't do a lot. I mean, he did tons of stuff that no one ever saw, but he was in Falcon's Crest, which is another one of those like that might as well just be called Knots like Landing Dynasty Dallas.
All together, they would all mix together. They're talking about the Star of Kashmir here, and then Karen Valentine makes a joke and says that Ox promised not to think that month.
Man.
And then he called him Larry Storch here called him a Cossack. Cossack. You know what that is?
Yeah, it's a place in, I guess, Eastern Europe.
Southern Russia.
Yeah. It's like by the...
It just seemed like a weird random reference, right?
I guess it's not... I guess Cossacks are probably like making a Polish joke back in the old days. Like you're just making fun of a person from where they are.
I guess this is pre-'80s, that whole...
Yeah, it's fine back then. I mean, you could probably say Cossack nowadays and people would be like, what did he call me? Like,
I thought he said, put your feet on the hassock?
I would just like to go on record as saying it's always a bad idea when you're planning a diamond heist to have someone that is so stupid that they don't understand even basic English.
Yeah.
You know, you have to explain things to them. And when you make a, I don't remember exactly what they say in this, but if you say a word that can mean two different things, they always take it to be the other thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Larry Storch kept pointing that out and they kept blowing him off.
Yeah. It's like, what was the purpose? Because I guess he's supposed to be super strong, although he doesn't look like he's super strong.
At one point,
why do you have him?
At one point, they say that at 11 o'clock, we're going to kill the lights. And Ox goes, oh, I thought you said there wasn't going to be any murders.
Yeah. Why do you hire this guy? Because it wasn't like he was the brother of the main guy or like, married to the blonde.
He's just supposed to be the muscle, but I mean, obviously you got to find better muscle
you
than
could find a smarter guy than that to be your muscle. You know, there are a lot of smarter guys than that because everybody's smarter than that. So find the next man up.
Yeah. I mean,
man, he was dumb.
He played a really good dumb. He did well.
And didn't you say he was, never mind.
Okay.
Keep going. No.
He was Herman Munster.
Herman Munster. Super strong.
Yeah.
Not dumb though.
I wouldn't say Herman Munster was dumb. I would say he was a smarter. Yeah.
He was always the butt of the joke.
He was always the butt of Grandpa's jokes. I mean, Grandpa was always teasing.
Gomez was always the joker.
Gomez was the lover.
Well, but Gomez was always in on it. Herman was like the butt of the joke.
Yeah, and that was always they both ran at the same time too, didn't they?
I always felt that was the difference between those shows. That Gomez was he was the instigator. Herman was he was the one that was getting it all the time.
Gomez also seemed like the more mature one. Like, it just seemed like, I don't know, like a more adult-like. The show was more adult-like.
Adam's family almost could work in real life. I mean, obviously the Munsters can't. You have a Frankenstein and Dracula and a werewolf and stuff like that.
Yeah, you just have a hand come out of a...
Yeah, that seems a little odd. That doesn't normally happen. 4 minutes into the Love Boat. Yeah, here we go.
So we had Gopher. He's escorting Jenny. She's noticeably blind. She has
the cane
or cane, and
but she's not wearing the sunglasses like a lot of blind people do. But
she asks about the steps. He's like, "How do you know about the steps?" And she can hear the sounds
because blind people get superpowers. Every other sense becomes so heightened, powerful. Right? Yeah. You can hear from miles away. You can smell everything. It's amazing. It would be awesome to be blind because then you're like a superhero.
And you can
like
hear
Daredevil.
Smell
everything.
You're
like Daredevil. I mean, she's like, I can hear it. Like, really, I'm sure all you hear is just like, it's a bunch of noise.
This was a little awkward here because Desi Arnaz Jr. has his back to Jenny here, and he's talking to Julie. Julie tells him he's in cabin 330 on the Fiesta deck.
Nice.
And then Desi makes a point to mention that he's getting off at Puerto Vallarta.
Another person traveling to just one of the spots
and then getting off
in a poor way.
Yeah.
If you need to get to Puerto Vallarta, fly.
Yeah.
You could be there in an hour from LA probably. But I'll take the 3-day boat trip there. That sounds better. And it's not like he's with someone to like, let's enjoy some time
together. He's going to meet someone.
He's going to meet someone. So why is he on the boat?
At this time, with his back to Jenny recognizes his voice.
She's got superpowers. She can recognize anybody's voice. I bet she could have told us, which I'm going to get to eventually, whose voice was really coming out of the fake Captain Steubing. But
yeah, you're going to hold on for it?
Well, I want to go on record early on saying like I had every single plot point, like Brian, who got everything wrong. I knew exactly what was going to happen every single step of the way until it didn't happen. And I was like, oh, I really thought this was going to happen. And
this episode definitely did lead you in directions where you thought you were going to go, and then you're like, oh.
So as those things happen, I'll point them out. But that'll come up with her later, and in her super hearing power especially.
Yeah.
That'll come up later where I'm like, oh, I know how this is going to go. And it didn't go
So this was a well-written
It was actually
episode,
kind of like there were twists and turns that I was kind of like.
It takes 10 people.
10 writers again
to make a good plot.
I mean, for a stupid TV show in the 70s, yes, it was very well written. And it kept me kind of like guessing because I kept thinking I was so smart I was going to figure it out. And then I didn't figure it out and I kind of got frustrated. I was like, how is Love Boat confusing me? Why does this keep happening?
Why do you keep doing all these twists?
I know that like you guys like to make fun of how dumb I am, but I really thought I was smart enough to watch Love Boat. And then apparently I'm not. I'm apparently not as smart as the 4 guys that wrote this show.
10 guys that wrote.
Oh, right. It's 4 guys that wrote this specific part of it. I don't even know.
So Jenny recognizes Desi, and they went to the same school for the blind.
Because he's got a very distinctive voice. He's like, Lucy, I'm home.
He did have some really nice. I guess
he looks just like Desi Arnaz, man. He is definitely his kid, man.
Yeah.
Like as soon as he popped up, I'm like, oh, that is definitely Desi Arnaz's kid. Not so much Lucy in him.
He's got red pubes.
Gold, Jerry, gold. We
can end this podcast now, man. That nothing will be funnier.
Julie wants to put them together for dinner since they know each other. And do you know what dinner table they're at, Andy?
I do. Do you remember what dinner table they're at, Brian? I remember. They're at table 14. But I didn't remember.
Correct.
But I did not remember his room number. He was Fiesta Deck. What 332? You said
he is cabin 330 on the 330 deck. Yep.
But I do remember all our other principals.
Jenny, do you know where she's at?
She's Promenade 243.
352. That was close.
Oh damn! But she's right next to the Jewel Thieves, and I thought they were 242. They're not Promenade Deck 242 because I thought that was their
Promenade
safe number.
352. That's what it was. Yeah, I know.
Damn, I thought I had it. When they were breaking,
she's right next door. Maybe she was on the wrong floor.
Oh my God, she's blind. She didn't know what floor she was on.
So dinner table 14, and this is where Desi mentions to Julie that this is the first time he saw her because the last time he was at the school, he was still blind.
Now he said he was born blind. And he
was born blind and had the operation. And she lost it at...
Are they 14?
14.
Oh,
yep.
Table 14
is the magic number here.
Ooh, but this was not episode 14. That would have been better.
No, that would have been a fun little...
I wonder what kind of surgery he had, because that's really...
Yeah, they didn't mention what caused either of their
people
blindnesses.
That are born blind, that you usually don't get that back. They don't all of a sudden come up... I mean, some super kind of thing.
I think that his eyelids were just sealed shut.
Oh.
They just had to cut them loose.
He came out of... never mind. I'm not going to go into any. Poor Lucy. Poor Lucy. I won't desecrate her great name.
She was.
If we had Billy West on the show, we would, because he does a great Lucy. Old Lucy.
John Schuck has Lucy to thank for Star Trek. You know what I mean?
Oh, Desilu Productions did Star Trek. Sure, the original. Yeah.
Like Star Trek was actually going to get pulled from the air, I believe, and it was Lucy that said, "Oh no,
oh no."
And then there was like bongos. Remember the bongos?
Oh. What happened?
Oh. Okay, then we had the gang they introduce themselves to Captain Steubing, and this is where Steubing is like, "I'll be dining with you this evening." He's like
random 4 people.
And that was like just the second group of people he said hello to as they were walking on. And then Doc and Gopher, you could see him there lingering in the back. They're about to creep up on Taffy Martino as soon as Captain leaves.
They're both jumping all over her.
And
what was she on? Did we decide, like, what was her background as an actress?
She wasn't on much.
No, okay, that's fine.
She looked good.
She looked good. She didn't look great. She's like
great. Room 222.
Oh, 222.
And
next to Jack Hay. Yeah. Next to, I think Jack Hay was room 223. And
Doc and Gopher creep up on her, and then the leader of the gang, Harold Gould, comes over and tells her business before pleasure. And she's always like, all you worry about, heist.
Now,
it's like sort of Marsha.
Portraying the dumb blonde, but she wasn't actually dumb.
No.
And she wasn't like...
Ox was the dummy here.
She wasn't like super smart either. She was just like regular dumb, but like I thought they were going to go with like, she's just like, I'm just a girl and I'm here for this, but like she wasn't that.
They set her up to look like that.
But she was actually pretty smart. She was involved in all the schemes and stuff like that.
Here we get Barbara and Alan arriving to go on the ship together, and she was surprised because she wasn't expecting this, and she had to make all kinds of arrangements with her work and everything. And he's like, "That's fine, honey." And then a taxi pulls up, and guess who's in the taxi?
Adrian Barbeau.
Adrian Barbeau just happens to be this guy's mistress at this time.
Apparently the tickets that he bought were for her, not his wife, but the wife
she found them, and that's why they ended up on this cruise together. And Adrian Barbeau didn't get his telegram. He sent a telegram.
He didn't text her.
Yeah. He sent her a telegram saying, my wife found the tickets. You're not going. And
he could have called her. He should have called her.
I would think that would be a phone call.
Yeah.
And I think it's 78. Everybody had a phone in 78, I think.
How did telegrams, did that work? Like someone actually drove to your house and would like message from Dick Rowan.
Well, was it like Western Union or whatever? Wasn't that the kind of thing they did? They did messages like it was like a letter or whatever, and they handed it to you, right? I mean, that's what I would think.
I've never received a telegram.
I think that would be a weird way to say, "Hey, mistress, my wife's going to be there." You know?
Does Western Union still exist?
Like that's a paper trail,
telegrams?
Right? I think they do money now, right? Like
is that what they do?
Or laundering,
wiring
money, wiring, and laundering
wired money.
Learning all about the money laundering there on the wire.
Keep going. No one's talking about the wire.
I was talking about Adrian Barbeau.
Keep going.
Adrian Barbeau looking good here, and this is where Barb asks him, like, she's like, "Are you sure it's just me and you?" Like, you know, and he says, "What a question." He never answers.
Well, that's what he was saying to his wife too. What a question. But he looked at the camera almost, and he was like, "What a question!" Like, womp, womp, womp.
Almost like fourth,
something like that. Not really, but
I have something else here where fourth wall was broken.
Oh.
But it's a little further up, but we'll get to it. So here we had Doc, Gopher, and Julie, and they were all tongue-tied. Doc asks for an autograph.
For a patient. But then it says, make it out to Adam. And then Steubing interrupts, telling them to all calm down. There you go, Adam. Yeah, and he was like, oopsie, you caught me. And then Steubing interrupts and says, like, telling them all, like, hey, calm down, you know, act like you've been here before. We got some celebrities on here. It's not just the first time. But he's saying... And then he takes a picture of them. Not with them, of them. So he just took a picture. Well, they didn't have selfies back then. I know, but he could have said, hey, take a picture of me that's true, you with them. You know what I mean? But he didn't say, I'd like you to be at my table tonight. No, I have the diamond gang there. It's much easier for them to steal your diamond if you were sitting next to him at dinner. And we got our Bon Voyage scene, which was funny because Barb and Alan are there, and then Adrian Barbeau is like two people over, and she's throwing her streamers at Alan. You know, I don't mean to be cruel, but I might as well get it out of the way now. It would have been funny if they had the blind girl like turn the opposite way, throwing the confetti, because she wouldn't know. And that's the terrible thing to say, but you know, if this was a Naked Gun movie, that would be exactly what's happening. But they have her throwing her confetti over the rail like everybody else. It would have just been funny if they had her turned around. I am not making fun of the blind. I just think it would have been funny to have that in. That would have been great. So that was our Bon Voyage scene. But Brian, you don't have to cut that out like you cut out all my other rants about like I'm anti-human resources and stuff like that. That you can leave in. We find out that was a long rant. Too. I hate human resources so much, man. Scum of the earth. We find out Roz is a star, and that her husband has to live with that. This is the same girl that was the in that stupid Happy Birthday plot. That's her. Wow, man, she looks so much different here. They made her a lot better. Yeah, she looks a lot better here. But this is where she mentioned how he used to be a star, like she was in that one. She mentions how he used to be a star. Yeah, and then he says, I haven't slept with a star in a long time. Or she says, I haven't slept with a star in a long time. And he says, I never have, except you. Except you, yeah. But he held that for a while. Yeah, and then they go have day sex. Yep. Let's go back to the room. Day sex on the boat here. And then we get Oxus putting bugs in their cabin, which is what they called them. So just like some... so it's a good idea to let the dumbest person do this. High-tech hearing listening equipment they're putting in there. He drops one in the toilet and it gets flushed. Surprise, surprise. I really got to say, like, this gang, I thought was firing all cylinders except for hiring Ox. I was like, I'm on board with these guys. They got a good gang. They got the girl. The first plan that we'll get to soon. But plan A? Plan A. Exactly. Yeah. I was really like, I like their plan. This is Ocean's 11 style. And then it, you know. There was a good line there, too, because Storch said, doesn't work out. Why couldn't we get someone with half a brain? And then Karen Valentine said, we did. We did. And they did. Can you pause this for a second?
Okay, then we had Alan here. He's trying to hide and be low key out here, laying on a deck as they're getting some sun. Barb says she's going to be really tan and he's going to look like a penguin or something ridiculous. She said.
Barb reminds me of somebody. I just can't put my finger on. I know it's not who she is because she wasn't in anything I ever saw, but she looks like someone like more modern that.
Probably in a different show So then Adrian comes up and bumps into them and introduces herself to Babs. So I started calling her Babs here in my notes for some reason. And then Alan's like, "Oh, you must have us confused," and he names them as a full couple. It's like, "You have us confused," and she's like, "No." She then tells him she saved his life, or like she saved. What was it? He made her the happiest woman.
Oh, because he
was
the lawyer?
He was her divorce lawyer.
Is that what he was? Okay.
He made her the happiest woman, and he's still saying, "I don't know you." And then she says, "You were my lawyer."
And he's like, "I got a lot of clients." Yeah, right.
And then she says, she introduces herself as Kathy Randall, and she says, "Are you Kathy Randall who designed separates for Coquette Casuals?"
Nice.
And she's like,
because that's how anybody would say that sentence.
I just wanted to make sure I said Coquette correctly. And then Barb says, "Yeah, I designed fabrics for Wild Weave." And she's like, "Oh my God, did you see what I did to your Mad Plaids?" And Alan says, and she says, "This is so nice to talk to somebody like this." She says, "Alan thinks Chenille is married to the captain."
And then he says, "I thought they broke up."
Yeah.
But when he sees,
do you know what Chenille is?
Do I know what Chenille is?
Yeah, I looked it up.
Oh, no, I don't. I don't. But I was thinking when I heard Chenille, I was thinking the Laverne and Shirley song, the Shamil Shamazel. Like, so when she said Chenille, I was like, are they going to say Shamazel? Like, is that what's coming next? And then they did the Tennille joke. What's Shamil? Chenille.
Chenille is a tufted velvety cord or yarn used for trimming furniture and making carpets and clothing. Chenille.
I still wouldn't know that.
I know.
Like, if you asked me right now,
Tufted was a little confusing.
Ask me in 5 minutes what chenille is. I'll be like, it's a thing that you cut carpets with or something. Isn't that a knife?
So I looked up after Alan's joke. I heard they broke up. I looked. Captain and Tennille married in 1974.
Okay.
Do you know when they got divorced?
I'm going to go on record as saying I don't know any. I couldn't even name one Captain and Tennille song. I know they were like the Sonny and Cher of the mid-70s. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know anything about them. I never watched a show. I couldn't even, if you put a picture of them in front of me at this time in their prime, the only thing that would give it away is the hat he's wearing, probably.
Yeah, we all look like the Captain.
I was going to say that. I was just looking at you. I was like, you look like Captain.
But I'll be like, I know it's not Sonny and Cher.
Daryl Dragon, his name is.
I know it's not Sonny and Cher, but it could be like the Carpenters. I'm like, I'm not sure who this is, so I don't know.
So they married in 74, but they were divorced. What year do you think they were divorced?
Well, he said I heard they broke up, so I'm going to say 1978.
77.
2014.
Oh, Jesus, okay. Are they still alive, both?
Captain Daryl Dragon died, I believe. Tony Tennille is still alive.
Okay.
Or I got it reversed. It's the other way.
So they divorced very recently.
Yeah, 2014 is it. So they lived, it was like roughly 40 years they were married.
But did they break up as a musical act?
I think that they did.
Or is that just a joke?
I think they were a band all the way up. I think it was just a joke there.
Okay.
Like,
I don't know.
Up kind of thing.
Where were they playing in 2000?
I don't know, but 78, I guess. I don't know when that song came out, whatever that song was. I mean,
if we had a producer that could look this things up on the fly.
I know. I need to get another laptop.
Captain and Tennille, I don't know.
I could use my phone, but then I wouldn't be able to make zipper sounds.
I'm going to beat you to it. I'm going to beat your Alexa.
Bubblegum in the Sky?
Do that to me one more time.
Oh, that's them?
Yeah. Well, apparently, according to this.
Do that to me one more time.
And love will keep us together. Love will keep us together. I know that one.
That one I know, yeah.
The way
I like these guys.
The way I want to touch you. I don't think I know that. Lonely Night?
Isn't that Lonely as a Night?
Oh, I was thinking of REO Speedwagon, One Lonely Night.
And I was thinking of, what's his name? Who ruined his career by wearing pink?
Oh, Billy Squier.
Billy Squier, yeah.
Damn, they got a lot of songs, but I think
those are the two that we knew.
Yeah.
Love will keep us together.
It'd be funny to find out that those are like covers and they aren't even really their songs.
They're like, nah, that wasn't them. They were a cover band. Well, that was like what Quiet Riot. Their two big hits were
Quiet Riot was
Slade.
the
They
cover
were
bill,
Slade songs. Yeah.
Written by Captain and Tennille.
Where are we at here? Let me see if I get them.
Sorry,
I want to make sure.
Distracted by Captain and Tennille.
Okay, so yeah, here we had
You hit a soft spot in our podcasting. You said music.
We started singing.
You said music, and we're like, oh, that's something we all know.
So after John or Shuck drops or Ox drops the sets up all the bug equipment, and Larry Storch was listening, and he says if it's going to be if they keep rehearsing like this, it's going to be X-rated, their movie that they're going to make. And they were waiting for the right moment to make the switch, and Ox thinks that they already stole the diamond.
Now, did he say it was X-rated because
he was listening
already listening to
because
them?
they went into the tub, remember?
Oh, but that was later. They're not in the tub now.
No, they went into the tub. Yeah,
just now they did too.
Yeah, that's why they got him into the tub, and then that's when they were going.
Oh, I know they were in the tub later when they were Mission Impossibling into the room.
I hope we're talking about that.
I got a lot to talk about with that. A lot.
Okay, good.
Because there's a weight differential, and the people are on the wrong side of the weight differential there. You don't have the skinny guy lower the big guy down into the room.
Is that physics? I don't think physics was working there because there's no way he was being able to pull him up. And also that seemed like a very high ceiling all of a sudden.
Well, and also, I mean, that cruise ship would have been 1,000 stories tall if their air ducts were so big that you could walk through them without even bending over. That would mean there were like 7 or 8 feet in between each floor.
Yeah.
What a bunch of wasted space. My God. Don't they know they can make the air ducts like really, really tiny? Like maybe not even like 6 inches high? Unbelievable.
We got Jenny and Desi on the boat here, and it was a horrible water background. That was one of the things.
Was it? Okay.
Talk about going forward,
like
the water background.
I gotta be honest. Like I don't remember the laugh track in this one.
Oh, there was.
Was there laugh track in it?
Yeah.
Maybe I have to turn the volume. I watch it with subtitles, so I think I'm paying attention more to I might not have the volume up enough to catch all the nuances of the laugh track. Because you know how much I love.
But this is where he tells her that he sees 2 sunsets here. He sees the one that she just described, and then he sees her,
and she's like, "Thanks, Dick. I can't see any sunset." Right? Is that her response? Because that would have been my response.
So she said she was happy for him. Remember, she's happy that he had the operation and everything. So Jenny turned out really being a really nice girl. I think in this Stephanie Zimbalist again.
And she's the one from the Monkey Show, Passion.
Remington. No, she was Remington Steele.
Okay. Yeah. Man, none of these people are really famous. I mean, Adrian Barbeau is the only one out of any of these people that I would have known just by looking at him who they were.
And I guess, would you put her top billed over Fernando Lamas?
Definitely.
Then, I guess, yeah. And
I mean, especially at this time, this was like at least, well, the Thing was probably like 81 or 2.
But you can't give her much credit for the Thing, really.
Or what about Escape from New York?
What year was The Fog? That was
80,
the 80s, right?
80, I guess. Yeah, so maybe she was nothing yet.
Maud.
Okay, Maud. But I didn't watch that. But it was probably big at this time, or it had just been big.
Yeah, because I think Maud started 73. Maybe?
Oh, that early, huh?
I don't know.
Okay.
And then I could look it up. It's probably 79. So I don't think it was that late, though. It was definitely mid-70s. Here we get Gopher talking to Julie about how pretty Karen Valentine is here.
The gang's sitting there, but that's not the captain's table.
No.
But they were invited to the captain's table.
This is the first night. Yeah, that's right.
Why aren't they at the captain's table? He said, I'll have you at my captain's table tonight.
And also, one person was missing. It was just 3 of the gang.
Oh, was it?
I think the old man was at the captain's table.
Oh, so just him.
Oh, he's
the only one who got. I guess they all didn't sit there then. Yeah.
Oh,
but this I thought was weird because
I'll be sitting at the captain's table. You guys can go sit and coach over there.
Gopher's showing interest in this girl, but she's also sitting with 2 guys. Like Julie's like,
Julie
go over there,
macking on him. You're cute and you're ruffling
messing
hair.
Up his hair. And everything. I thought it was going to turn.
I know you had mentioned that there's some.
I was like, is this it? The 2-parter?
This is going to happen right now.
She was definitely very flirtatious.
She was very flirtatious, and so I thought this was when it was going to happen, but it didn't.
He talked him into going to sit over there with. And ask her if she wanted to have dinner with him. And he asks if she wants to have dinner. She says, asks if she wanted to have dinner with the most charismatic person on the boat. She says, yes. He turns around to get a chair.
And Doc sidles right in there.
He sidled right into that
But let me tell you something, man.
And he said, thank you. And he tells him to go comb his hair.
The confidence that you have to go sit at a table with a woman where there are two other guys there and you don't know the situation, you don't know the relationships, and be able to ask her out,
and to turn
that is not a confidence level that I have. Basically, any woman that I ever went out, I needed to be told in advance that it was a guaranteed yes.
That girl over there said she likes you.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, like, I don't want to hear she likes me. I want to hear it out of her. Record her saying it. I need to.
I'm going to stand right here and watch.
I mean, I didn't ask Michelle out for like 6 months, and we've been hanging out for 6 months. We were going out not as a couple, but as like friends. But I needed like assurances that was not going to turn south on me. And even when it happened, I wasn't quite. I was like, this is not good. She's going to kick my ass right out right now.
But yeah, so Julie sends him over there.
Looking back on that, I kind of wish that happened 25 years in the past, but here we are.
Doc was a dick here, right?
Oh, sidling in
big time by
definitely.
Doc. Yeah.
I mean, Doc is being Doc, but is it almost like Gopher and Doc have a game? I wonder if they have a tally sheet somewhere where they're like, which one of us is going to get this passenger? I mean, we've never seen Gopher
think they
really
keep that from Isaac.
Way.
They're like, we can't let him play. They're like, he's not in the show as much.
I mean, has Isaac been in the show yet?
No.
I mean, we're only 18 minutes in, and one of the main stars of the show hasn't even appeared in the
Spoiler alert, we're not going to see him for another 23 minutes in this episode.
God.
So he doesn't show up until 41 minutes and 11
Isaac,
seconds.
Man. I did notice.
You figure it's like, it's a two-parter. You're going to be good. He's like, you have 4 lines.
I was actually thinking about it today as I was watching this episode. We had the 12 guest stars. Unless Isaac is going to have a relationship with the person or has a relationship with the person, they're like no black people on the show at all. I know we had Sherman Hemsley and Esther very early on, but like that's it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Jimmy Walker
Jimmy
was on
Walker,
the first
we
episode.
had Diane
but
Carroll.
There were 12 people in this show. And
Diane Carroll, Jimmy, That's it, yeah.
There's no just like regular people on the cruise ship that are not interacting with Isaac regularly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was thinking about that today as I was watching this. I was like, it's a very white cast. Love Boat's so white.
Love Boat's so white. I was going to say that. And that's why we podcast together.
Sharing a brain. Just like Ox. Me and Ox and I are sharing a brain. There's the old man's at the captain table. I must have missed that split second shot.
I forgot it completely until Brian mentioned that.
Yeah, split second shot.
Isn't he sitting really close to the captain?
On his lap almost.
It's a close shot too. Like it's very.
Well, it did the old Vertigo zoom in, pull out kind of. I liked it. But what's her name? Michelle Lee's wearing the
Roz shows up with the Star of Kashmir on display, and everybody's the gang's got their eyes on it. They're all checking it out, and there was a movie mentioned here. Julie mentioned one of the movies that Roz was in. It was The Vain and the Vengeful. That's one of her movies. So it sounded like an action kind of movie.
Sounds like a porn.
Desi and Jenny are. He's telling her where everything is at the table here.
Oh,
like
by
8 o'clock.
Yeah, 7:30-ish. Yeah. Again, it would have been great if she's just swept her hand around to get something and just knocked.
Here's where I thought she was going to get mad at, like, don't show me. Just
I thought
that's where I thought.
I thought there was going to be. I don't know if there was any kind of discussion like that though. She didn't play like the poor woe is me character at all.
No, and even when she tried to later on, it doesn't work the way she wanted.
That's true. Yeah. But I really thought at some point she was going to snap and be like, all right, I get it. You can see. Good for you, buddy.
Yeah. And then she just turned out being completely opposite of where I thought she was going to go. Get mad. They were not going to see each other anymore. It was just going to, and I thought this one was going to end in a bad, not in a bad way, but just not together.
Really?
And spoiler alert,
have you watched Love Boat, man? Because I'm pretty sure at this point I knew how this was going to end.
And you will see some that end in, we've seen some rocky relationships.
Have we?
Yeah. We have.
Name one.
Well, we get a lot of cheaters, but they seem like their wives seem to be taking them
somehow
back
the Love Boat,
you know what I mean?
Wipes away all their sins.
Okay, so we still got Jenny here. Okay, so they were talking, and basically this storyline here is just it's going well. I mean, it just everything's going. Hey, you could see where we thought it was going to go, it didn't go, and then we get Kathy showing up to dinner with Barbara and Dan here.
Rowan and Martin.
He wonders why she keeps inviting her to everything, and she says they have a lot in common.
Little does she know how much they have in common.
This is where they find out. She says, "Why are you on the cruise alone?" And she said she was supposed to come with some guy, but the wife found the ticket. And she said, "Oh, you're all alone on it." And she said, "Sorta." Like, didn't really.
This woman should have been like, "Wait a minute, that's funny. I found the tickets that my husband didn't tell me about."
And
how weird is that?
As they're talking that over, Alan chokes and he's like, "Oh, cork in the ripple" or something like that. He said,
Rowan was the
I didn't get to give my guess for them, did I?
For which one?
For that couple.
Did you not?
I don't think so.
I thought you did. Okay, what do you have for Barb?
Because then I was just thinking, I was like, did I say it?
You didn't say anything about Adrian Barbeau, that whole situation. Then,
yeah.
Right?
Oh, I thought we gave you all three. That's weird.
What did we ask? I forget what we asked.
The movie stars, the
movie star,
the
jewel
thieves, and the blind bitch.
Wow.
I guess are there actually
are
there really 4
stories?
There are 4 stories in this. It only took us like an hour into this podcast to realize there's actually 4 stories. Oh,
okay, so yeah,
that makes more sense now, because I remember thinking at one point, I'm like, this doesn't feel like one of those stretched out kind of stories. All these stories kind of seem to
flow.
It didn't feel like there was filler in there, and I'm like, how'd they make these? Because there's not a lot going on in some of these episodes, the stories. Yeah. But I guess because there are actually 4. And not 3. That's why it doesn't feel as stretched out.
And now we get another guest for Brian here on how he thinks Barb and Alan.
This one I actually thought about during the episode, and I think that his wife's going to find out about him cheating or him cheating on her, and that they're going to like form their own company or something, and she's going to divorce him.
Okay. I like it.
Even though the men always seem to get off scot-free.
I think he's got part of that right. I'll give him part credit on that a little bit. Yeah. Right?
Partial
credit. Agree there? Partial credit?
Yeah.
He's tough. He's a tough teacher. I'm telling you.
Partial. But not a full partial. Not 50%, like 40%.
You might want to do some extra credit.
I'll meet you in the bathroom in 5 minutes.
Okay, so Roz and what are we calling him here? Lorenzo? Roz and Lorenzo.
Papa Lorenzo.
Where am I at in my notes here? I'm sorry. Gopher asks for a favor from Baker. Cover his shift to blonde. Did we miss that part?
What?
That's coming up.
Where are we going?
I don't know. I got lost when we paused it here. I don't know. I got Roz here, but I don't know where my notes are at, because I got Doc talking about a beautiful relationship and Roz and Lamas. Oh, that's it. No fight in 5 hours. They're talking about Roz and Lamas. And then he said, do you want to go back to dinner after the cabin? And he says to read the script. And she says, no, I just want it to be about us, not about the work here and everything, and not tonight is what she says. And then she's looking for the wine steward.
Wine steward.
Behind the extras over there. And she says, those are people.
Behind the extras. He's one of those kinds of guys.
And here I thought that's where he broke the wall, because he said those extras.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So
I thought he's pointing to like the rest of the diners.
Yeah, like all those people that don't have names in IMDb.
Now these people, again, we've talked about this on other episodes, like the one with Diane Carroll. These people have a $1.2 million necklace.
1.5,
but discounted to 1.2. Why are they on a cruise with a bunch of regulars? 1.2 million back then. 1.2 in 1978 is buying you a really big boat. It's a really big boat. So
and that's not all they have. Like, that's just the necklace that she's wearing.
Yeah.
So obviously they have a lot of other.
They wanted to get paid $1 million each for this crappy movie that they're going to end up doing. So it's like,
well, he directed and wrote it too.
But $1 million back then's a lot, man.
Per.
Each,
yeah. So
I bet no one was making $1 million a movie back then, unless you were like, I don't even know, maybe Jack, maybe in the 70s, maybe, possibly, but that seems like a lot.
Hackman.
I remember Nolan Ryan, I think, got $1 million. He was the first baseball player to get $1 million when he went to the Angels, and that was late 70s. So
that was the first big one, right?
$1 million a year, $1 million for a movie is a lot of money back then. I mean, I make $1 million a week now, but back then,
that's crazy.
That was a lot of money. So they are well off. What are they doing on a cruise ship with a bunch of regular people
and also
a bunch of extras?
Like, that's a kind of piece of jewelry that doesn't really need to be worn to the
dinner,
to
and
the
they're not
dinner,
even sitting at the captain's table
in the coral dining room. You know what I mean?
Maybe if they're on the promenade.
It's a very plain diamond, too.
Yeah, it's just a
Just a diamond on a string.
And honestly, if it was just a fake, would you know? Like, who cares?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't get stuff like that. I mean, the value is the value because someone will pay you that, but
I won't lie. Like, if you showed me a comic book, and then I would get excited about that.
Sure.
Because it's like
Action Comics #1, Amazing Fantasy
like,
#15. I'm all over that.
Being in the same room with it would just be like, you know, you would feel like it would just
or like a Hannes Wagner card, like that Hannes Wagner card that they only made like 12 of back in like the 1910s.
And it was like cigarette company was the
tobacco company was the sponsor, so we didn't want to be on that card with the cigarette company.
And that's why that one's worth so much money, yeah. And then you think about the kids that would have like Babe Ruth rookie cards, and they would put them in their bikes, spokes in the bike, and just like.
Or if your dad had a Babe Ruth signed ball, and you let the kids in the sandlot play with that said ball, and then it got eaten by the dog on the other side of the fence. Stupid.
Or
kid.
when
Darth Vader's dog.
Yes.
Or when you had a Mickey Mantle ball, and your nurse put it up her vagina.
That is right. That is right. Was that?
It was Mo Collins.
Mo Collins, right, from Mad TV. Yeah, nice.
She said she dated Jeff, and he had and Jeff was like...
my dad, who is 84 now, so he was born in 37, so he was growing up in the 40s and early 50s. He had all those baseball cards, like the Mickey Mantle rookie and all those. And that Mickey Mantle rookie is like $100,000 now, but he... his car flooded. He had him in the trunk of his car.
Oh man!
They all got ruined.
And he had him like probably all protected and everything.
No, not
to a certain extent, I would think,
but
right?
in a box, probably like a shoe box or something like that, and they all got ruined. Oh yeah, he told me that when I was like a young person collecting baseball cards. He's like, "Let me tell you about my baseball cards." I'm like, "Oh,
oh." Did you ever ask him? And here we have Doc talking about the toast to a beautiful relationship with Taffy, and he says you're going to break your arms. They mentioned because the way their arms were interlocked as they were doing the toast, you know.
Oh, right.
And he said you're going to break your arms. That was the comic relief there. And then the leader of the group here, he pulls Taffy aside and says, that Purser is in charge of the vault that the captain told him. As Taffy leaves, Doc's like annoyed. Like he just started seeing like he's just all of a sudden but he's already got like possessive attitude. Like you're leaving to talk to this guy. Like it's just like, Doc, calm down. And then Taffy goes over to Gopher and starts. Julie tells him to comb his hair first, but Taffy seems to like it. She says, "Don't change your hair for me, not if you care for me," which I thought was
nice.
An interesting opening line to somebody. Do you care for me? Almost. Here, Gopher is now asking for a favor from Baker. He's asking him to cover his shift.
Oh,
we don't see who Baker is, but we just get Gopher says, "Cover his shift. A blonde likes him." That was his.
So, is there another assistant purser on board somewhere, just like with his feet up, just waiting for Gopher to
back up? Like he's in,
like what's he doing when Gopher's working? Is he in his room?
Is it his shift off tonight and then Gopher's off tomorrow night? I don't know. That's a good
I'm really
question.
surprised that there are backups to these people.
And then at the same time, we get Roz and Fernando coming down. They want to put the necklace in the vault, which I think is just, again, it's just an extravagant thing to have to worry about while you're on this cruise. It just doesn't make sense. That's the plot hole right there. I mean,
it doesn't make sense, but we can't say why it doesn't make sense. But it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So they are doing this for reasons.
I guess, yeah. So we get Gopher. He's opening up the vault here, and Roz and Fernando are looking on. They open it up, and in we go. Again, it's the Star of Kashmir that they're putting in the vault. And it is 242, you're right.
Right?
But I'm just telling you what they said is she's prominent. Yeah, the numbers don't match up to what she should have if she was next. So that's a continuity error.
Oh, my God. Because I thought that was like
definite continuity error. Yeah.
Their room number. Now I've noticed this vault doesn't have locks on the actual safe deposit boxes, so you can just be like, I'm getting my thing out of 241 and open up both. And
or you get that special equipment that comes in there.
Well, but I'm just saying, like,
that's what I thought that how they were going to steal it. Like, just put something in your box.
Oh, well,
and then just take out the thing, the diamond.
That probably would have ended up being the easier way to do it, but
we're still on plan A, right?
We are still on plan A.
Podcast new episode. I wonder what it could be. Look what episode just dropped. Sorry, I get excited when our episode drops there.
That's another thing that I listen to on Monday. So that's another thing that I get all worked up about.
This one's an hour and 25 minutes.
This one's already an hour and 25 minutes. And we're 26 minutes into this extra long episode.
Well, it's going to zoom through here.
You always say that. Never zooms.
It does sometimes.
Never zooms.
Okay, so we're back here with the gang as Taffy's distracting Gopher. You would say we get the rest of the crew. They're going to go and they're going to end up at the sauna, the massage room / sauna, and Ox. They're going to ask Ox to stand guard. And Harold Gould, I keep wanting to call him Elliot Gould. Harold Gould and Larry Storch are going to go in and start their plan A, which is drilling through the hole, drilling a hole in the floor of the sauna. The sauna is right above the vault.
I think this is a brilliant plan. I was all on board. I was like,
Ocean's 14.
This is an ocean style plot. They must have had the blueprints to the boat. They knew that he's measuring. He takes out his tape measure. He knows exactly where they have to
I like
drill.
that part that they did the tape measuring.
Like, these guys are on. I'm like, wow, they're going to steal this thing like right away. I was
brought out some weird equipment here that we had no idea what it is, though.
I was thinking to myself, how are they going to push this plot along when they steal the diamond 10 minutes?
They make a note to look at the temperature. It was about 110 degrees.
Yeah. And they can't turn the dial.
Yeah, and they ask Ox to turn it for him.
Now, here is the first plot that I thought I had set. I was like, I know exactly what's going to happen. I was like, they're getting locked in this sauna.
I thought that too.
I was like, they're definitely getting locked in this sauna.
And it made me think of Greg and Bobby getting locked in the cooler at Sam's.
I was like, that is definitely what's going to happen again. Like right here, because Ox comes in.
He closed the door behind.
I was like, they are not getting out of here. But that's not what happens.
No,
not at all. They get right out.
And that's when Ox rips that off. And then he just opens the door, walks out. I was like, oh.
And now they're in the sauna with the temperature rising, but that's not really integral to the plot at all. I guess it affects the drill.
Sort of, because that's like, but it also started to affect them, and so they took off their pants.
Yeah, but
which made
I kind of was going with the theory that now that they're not stuck, but it's going to get so hot, are they going to pass out from the heat?
It was a weird massage that Taffy was giving Gopher across the counter there.
And Gopher leaps across the desk.
There's no time for him to walk around.
I was thinking, was that a stunt double until he straightened up and it was him? I'm like, oh, he did that. I wouldn't be able to do that.
This was early.
This was early. Half my age, but
this is early in his career too. Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to do that at 25.
So she gets him over. She gets him over to the couch, I guess, right there, and they start massaging there. And we got a massive drill this guy's working with inside that sauna there. And this is how far you've seen this far in. Yeah, you've been this far, right? So the drill's happening. They're still complaining about the heat.
Well, now it's up to 120 at least, right?
And the drill was starting to act a little squirrely for them.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter that the heat affected the drill because they end up getting the hole in.
Yeah, it ends up being a clear hole. Like
so
at first,
that doesn't matter.
When it malfunctioned, it seemed like they weren't done.
Yeah, I was like, that's gonna be a problem, but it's not.
So they got the hole through. It was clear, and
now I guess the
Gopher says he wouldn't change his knife for $1 million, and I was like, all she did was give you a massage, barely.
Right? Barely. She rubbed you over the clothes too, not a shirtless massage. You got your shirt on, and probably a t-shirt under that. That's not a good massage.
It hasn't even escalated anywhere. It's just like
on a probably uncomfortable couch in the lobby.
All the work that was done was him jumping over the counter too.
No one's walking around this lobby. I mean, it's not that late at night, is it? Is it late at night?
That's why I feel like all the time when they have stuff out on the deck, there's like never anybody around.
There.
Yeah. All right, so they were back in here. Once they get the drill through, you see here, it gets through, so we're going to get that clear hole. I don't know what would you call this equipment that they're about to use?
Oh, I have a periscope, but
periscope, right?
A periscope with a claw or something like that. I don't know, because he's looking through, so he can see where he's going.
Where he's going, and then it's almost like it's a circular knob that he's like turning on.
It basically has everything that you need to make the plot advance. It has a light on it. It has a claw on it. It can bend at the right angle.
It's
an amazing piece of equipment, whatever this thing is.
Okay, so the drill's pretty much shot
because of the heat. But it doesn't matter because they got the hole through. Although I'm thinking, knowing what's going to happen in a couple of minutes, could they have used the drill again to kind of widen the hole?
We're going to have to drill another hole.
But he says get the other equipment.
Yeah, and there was 4 total drills.
Oh, maybe because
altogether, but the other drills were in Ox's bag
in L.A.
and Ox's bag was in L.A.
But maybe if this drill worked, they would have been able to kind of,
or even just do a second hole next to it so that they can get it right up through. Yeah, but there's the equipment going down. It has a light on it as well.
Light. It's got a light. He's got a periscope on it, so he can see through it also.
Yep.
And then it's going to have a
claw that extends and
90-degree angle claw,
opens and closes drawers.
It's like robots from the 70s. They could do anything as long as it involved opening and closing things. But that's about it. Don't ask it to do anything else.
All 3 seasons of Greatest American Hero are on Peacock. I just wanted to throw that out there for some reason.
Are they?
Yeah, that's a great show.
I have fond memories of it, but I don't know if I watched it past the first season.
I just did this because I did Halloween Kills. I watched that, and that was on Peacock, so I've been looking through it. There's a lot of TV shows and movies that are on Peacock. Like, Peacock's it's up there. It's a contender for...
no, it's not.
Listen, you didn't even let me finish.
Fucking not. It's not even in the ballpark.
It's a contender for one of these lower ones, like the NBCs, the CBSs, and all those.
Wasn't Peacock NBC?
Well, that's what I mean. Out of ABC, all those... NBC, this one, Peacock has the better. I'm not saying it's better than Netflix or Hulu or HBO Max. He just jumps the gun way too much.
Nope.
And here we have the drawer opening up, and they're pulling out
the jewel, and it's the right jewel. It's not like they got it.
This is it. Plan A is working.
These are good jewel thieves, except for their hiring of Ox. That was their one.
Right now, their bad move with Ox isn't that bad. He's outside, and they're like, okay, we're gonna pull this. Pull this diamond out of the rough.
Diamond in the rough, yeah.
And they pull it all the way up until it gets stuck.
It's not big enough to fit through the hole. It's in the hole. Yeah, it is a big diamond, but there's got to be
like you said, it's just a big plain diamond. It just looks like a ball.
Yeah, it's worth money, I guess.
1.5 mil.
1.21 gigawatts. So it doesn't get up. They can't get through the hole just to speed this along. It's taking a long time.
Yeah, that's why I thought we would talk over this. This is why I was saying some of this stuff. I figured what we talked over would be faster than this, but I thought we could catch up to it. But it seems like it's long. There we go. We got stuck now, and it doesn't even seem like they tried to work it through. They knew they had no chance. Because obviously, how deep did that go? That was a pretty deep...
I don't know, but I would have done a little bit more than what they did to try to get that out of there. I would have stuck my hand through there, my fingers, try to grab onto it.
There had to be something like you put something in there to stretch the hole or whatever, even a
get it.
Bar.
I was going to say, just get a screwdriver and kind of just scoop it around.
They seem to have a lot of equipment on hand to make things with. I'll just leave it at that for now.
They do make things later. But then this is where he says the other drills are back in L.A. in Ox's bag. And how they don't murder Ox right now and throw him overboard, because what good is he?
Ox has done nothing but not know what the plan is or screwed up the plan basically because he screwed up because he didn't have the other drills there. That would have been easily done. Oh, we got the other drill. Boom, we get it in and we're out.
He's a big dummy.
Ox.
End of part 1.